Well, the consistent Super Kings are in a final again. Their 10th final in 14 seasons, which is absolutely unbelievable. And what a game. It's just MS Dhoni doing Dhoni things. They're absolutely brilliant from CSK. They are in the final, Sheldon, again. And I have no words to say that. Didn't we all see this? It was pretty obvious. And could this be the year again? Once again for CSK to make it number 5 there. But hello and welcome to another brand new episode on Boundary Line Podcast. My name is Dillon Pink. I got Sheldon Dougherty on the show with me as well. But before going ahead, guys, requesting everyone to please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And also do leave your comments in the comment section there. And if you have any ideas for our channel, let's get straight into it. Sheldon Dougherty, another 10th final there for CSK. No surprises?
No surprise at all, Dil. You're almost shocked when they're not in the final. That's how good CSK are. And I mean, another professional performance, another clinical performance. It's just typical CSK, Dil, right? Every year, it's like a machine. It just keeps on, producing and producing and producing. And another professional performance. And they beat the standout side as well, GT, yesterday. And they beat them quite convincingly, I'd say, as well, Dil. I mean, in that chase, it didn't look like GT won the game for much of it. Maybe Rashid Khan a bit in the end, but just CSK all over yesterday, and wow, how strong did they look, right, Dil?
Absolutely, Sheldon. I don't know how much you can say about this team. I mean, we can go on and make like an hour, 2 hour long podcast on Dhoni and CSK, and it will still not be enough because there's so much to say about him and the team, the environment they kind of have. But then again, I thought Gujarat won the toss there, but I don't know whether they should have batted first or chased on that wicket. But then in the end, Sheldon, 15 runs short. You would have to say that no ball was a costly one there for Ruturaj because he was out on that, but then he made them pay real bad, right?
A big moment, Dil. And I thought it at the moment as well. I'm like, oh, no ball early. Before that, Gaikwad was struggling, Conway was struggling a bit, and it just seemed like after he had a 6 and a 4, the next 2 balls as well, and then Gaikwad was off, and then yeah, Dil, what a big moment. A youngster as well. I believe that was his debut, right, for Gujarat as well yesterday. What a time for the new guy to bowl. And I felt for him a bit because you don't want to push someone into that, spotlight like in their first game. I felt like Asmi made a similar mistake in their previous game, Dil, and I just think Gujarat have been perfect for 2 seasons. But I just feel that was like the first era where you're like, oh, maybe you can question that a bit. But hey, they've done a lot of things right. So I mean, it can happen. Like, you're a bit unlucky.
Yeah, CSK ended up making 172 for 7 there. And, courtesy Ruturaj Gaikwad 60 and Conway thought was struggling a bit there and, didn't really hit it out as expected. Rahane also a bit, few runs. Dubey also not enough. Moeen Ali chipped in there, and Ravindra Jadeja. What can we say about this guy? We can go on this guy as well. Absolutely, what a performer for CSK he's been, Sheldon. And again with the ball, he showed 2 for 18 in 4 overs. Sheldon is just unbelievable. I'm surprised he was not given the man of the match because I thought he was just absolutely brilliant.
Reliable Jadeja, right? It's just game in and game out. Jadeja just delivers, and he's Dhoni's man, right? He's been Dhoni's man, since he wore the yellow cape for the first time as well. And Dhoni just knows when he gives Jadeja the ball, he's going to give 100%. Jadeja in the field, 100%. Jadeja in the bat, he'll do whatever he can. And yesterday again, Jadeja produced, and it was just classical as well. And I want to mention Conway as well. I know you said he was a bit slow, but I feel Gujarat missed that type of innings because, as you know, Gill was going well, but he didn't have anyone on the other end. Like Gaikwad was going really well. And Gaikwad, I mean, how underrated is Gaikwad? He's unlucky that India have so much talent that, his name doesn't come up as much. I know we talk about Jaiswal and we talk about Gill and how talented they are, but Gaikwad is so consistent, but, he's just not in that top bracket of young Indian players, but he's as good, and maybe he should get opportunities too. And he just looks so good when he plays like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Sheldon. When he plays, like you said, absolutely brilliant, takes the attack on the bowlers, and he's just destructive when he's in that mode. And you could see that after that no ball, he cashed in there and didn't and made Gujarat pay for that no ball big time. And you're absolutely right. Even on Conway's innings, I thought Gujarat missed that sort of an innings because if someone had to stay with Gill on the other end and keep the 1s and 2s going, it could have gone all the way to the end and probably would have been much closer than we expected. But in the end, Sheldon, there I thought 160 was enough on this pitch. Typical wicket in Chepauk that you get there. 160, 165 is enough, but you would have to think that Chennai did the right thing. They got to 170, and in the end, just leave it to Dhoni and his spinners, and then he just spins a web around the opposition, correct?
insane. And to think he didn't even use Moeen, he didn't need his third spinner, and like it was just brilliant the way Jadeja and Theeksana bowled. You just
Yeah.
felt like it was a test match, and just like from one end Jadeja, one end Theeksana, and they bowled superbly well. I thought even the seamers did well in a holding job for Chennai as well. Shahar took some key wickets, and Pati Rana, I mean, he's been one of the finds of the tournament for Dhoni, right? Which other team would have backed Pati Rana? And he comes in big overs. He only bowls after 10 overs, that to the
Yeah.
toughest time to bowl, and he bowls all his fours in the back end. And I'm just so impressed by him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing for Sri Lanka, regularly soon. He just looks like a find. And yeah, Tony's got his bowling attack spot on, his batting order spot on, and CSK, like, how good are they, right?
Yeah, Sheldon, spot on again. And I just want to bring one thing over here to light, Sheldon, that MS Dhoni, I know there's a lot of things that we can speak about him, but just the captaincy yesterday was so, so good with the field placement, cutting down the ones and twos there, just building pressure on the other team. That's MS at his best. I mean, he does it time and again, Sheldon, but it's almost as if now we've taken it for granted. Also, like, yes, Dhoni will do it now, that sort of a way. Like you said, even with Desh Pandey also, Sheldon, for an example, like the first few games didn't go well for him, and everyone were like, we have to drop this guy. He can probably cost CSK a place in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
look at Dhoni and his bowlers. He's just stuck with the same team. Hardly few changes here and there. Raidu struggling to get runs, but he's stuck with Raidu also because he knows when a crunch match comes, Raidu's got the experience to give them in those games, right? But how good was MS yesterday, Sheldon? It's just in field placements and everything.
Absolutely brilliant. Every time a new batsman came as well, he didn't give them anything. That ball to Miller as well, they put pressure on him and got him out early.
Brilliant.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
brilliant.
terrific. And I mean, even Pandya, when he came in, Dhoni changed the field the previous ball, and it's almost like Dhoni knows what's going to happen before it happens. He just reads the game so well. And that's the difference between him and some other captains who are not as good. I mean, usually they're reactive. Other captains, they wait, oh, the ball went there, now let's change it. But Dhoni sees it like, like a day before that, and he knows there where the ball's gonna go, and he just changes the field, and perfect. I mean, what more can you say about Dhoni? Even if Dhoni doesn't bat, he is so valuable to the CSK team, just his mind. And I think the impact player rule helps as well, that Dhoni doesn't have to bat as much now. And I think it's brilliant. And his captaincy just keeps getting better. In fact, I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, but at the end of the match there, when the presentation was going on, obviously Arsha Bogle, they're doing it, and he's asking Dhoni, could this be the last year, and is he going to come back next year, Sheldon? But you could see it. Maybe this is the last year, and I don't know who's writing the script for him, Sheldon. It's just lining up. It's just lining up for another IPL final for CSK, to win there. And I think everything is moving in the direction for Dhoni to lift the cup and then probably say, thank you very much. Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think he's going to come back next year again?
Yeah, Dil, you're right. Who's writing these scripts, right? The tournament as well started Ahmedabad versus Gujarat, Dil, and remember we saw how the Yellow Army was there, for the first game, and everyone was so excited to see Dhoni back, playing. Could it end there as well, in Ahmedabad versus Gujarat? Who knows? But Dhoni winning the IPL and signing off, that would be a fairy tale story. But as we know in Dhoni's career, it's all been fairy tales. Whether it was him hitting the winning runs in 2011, or him leading India to Champions Trophy and T20 World Cups, Dhoni's career has just been terrific, and you wouldn't bet past it for him to end with an IPL trophy again as well.
Oh, I can't wait for Sunday. I absolutely can't wait for Sunday because it's going to be a cracker of a game there. But moving on to the next one, Sheldon, LSG versus Mumbai. What do you think is going to happen there? I know we discussed in a previous podcast that we've got superstars on both sides, Mumbai and LSG, looking to go head to head against each other. And Mumbai haven't beaten LSG till now in a game, which is quite surprisingly. But you think the old war horses know how to win a game or two when it comes to these crunch moments, right?
Yeah, Dil, I know stats say that LSG, have beaten Mumbai every time they played, but Mumbai in a knockout game, Dil, there's just different gravy about it, right? Mumbai when it matters, Mumbai when there's pressure, they're just a different side, and I think they'll be very hard to beat today. I think Lucknow as well, they've won a few close games towards the end to get through. So this could be a cracker of a game, Dil. I know it's in Chennai, so I wonder what type of pitch we'll see, whether we'll see a similar one to what we saw yesterday. But yeah, it should be a good game. And yeah, honestly, I think it's 50-50 because both teams are strong on paper. Both teams have we have Puran, Stoinis, we have Cam Green, we have Sky. Like the stars are endless today. So it should be an exciting game. What about you, Dil? What do you feel? who has the edge going into the game?
I feel on this wicket, I think LSG might have a bit of an edge there. Mumbai, I think, sort of struggle on slower wickets, and we've seen that before also. But like you said, it's 50-50 going into this game because both the teams have been brilliant and they've won their last matches comprehensively, both of them. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how this match pans out and who's going to play Gujarat in that eliminator there. But your thoughts on the final, Sheldon? Who do you think? Is it going to be Gujarat CSK once again the way it started, or are you expecting the old horses there with Mumbai and Chennai face off one more time?
Till I think if Mumbai get to today, I think it'll be Mumbai CSK. You just feel that's the match that happens most often, right? That's the big two in the IPL. Another Mumbai Chennai final. We've seen so many already. Till for me, the one that pops up is the one when Malinga took that wicket of the last ball, that
Oh my
LBW
God.
to
Heartbreak.
win.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, it was insane. I think that was Malinga's last IPL game as well, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah, I'm sure CSK wouldn't want Mumbai in the final. I mean, they'd probably be happy with other teams, but yeah, should be interesting. But I want to ask you just one thing, because yesterday we saw how chasing probably wasn't, the better decision. Do you think the team that wins today the toss would want to bat first? Maybe runs on the board in a knockout game?
Absolutely, Sheldon. I've always said that, and even MS also, I think, goes by that. We've seen it quite a lot happen, Sheldon. Crunch moments in games like this, in knockout games, you put runs on the board and then you just bowl really well there to try and defend that. And I feel whoever wins the toss today is going to bat first, seeing how it went there, because you get that extra 10-15 runs towards the end, and then when you go out in the next innings, to feel probably. I feel the team that bats first goes in with that momentum. It can go either way also, but I just feel the team that bats first, knows the pitch, how it's playing, and they know exactly the areas. They can advise their bowlers, that the pitch is doing this, it's doing a bit of that. And I think batting first is the way to go on this wicket. But it's going to be interesting to watch which team is going to meet CSK in another final, another IPL there. But we'll have to wait and watch to see whether it's going to be MS lifting that trophy one last time, or maybe not. Perhaps he's going to come back next year. We have to wait and watch for that. But thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share the video with your friends, and do check out our other videos as well that we've done covering the IPL. And we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.